Big up everyone. What is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another live stream. Hope we are all doing well. Big up to every single one of you that is locked in the building. Big up, man. Big up, big up, big up. Hope we are all doing well. Feels a bit weird, man. Does definitely feel a bit weird. Doing a live. Usually I don't do it this early, but today I thought, you know what? Man's just going to make an exception. Man is just going to make an exception and do a live stream during the morning because this is an early morning stream, more or less, is it not? So, yeah, big up to you all. Hope you're all doing well. You know what? Going forward, I feel this might be the time for me to do live streams. For whatever reason, I get a lot of issues when I do them later on during the day, Wi-Fi connection wise. So I might just start doing early morning streams by the looks of it. So yeah, big up to every single one of you locked in the building. Hope we are all doing well. Yo, big up to my brother Emmanuel, man. Big up to my brother Emmanuel. Hope you're doing well. Big up to AFC always as well, man. Big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself. I know I'm a little bit early today, guys. Time wise, it's only it's not even 10 a.m. actually yet. So yeah, I can't be doing 6 p.m. streams no more, man. I get a lot of Wi-Fi connections during the evening in my house, so it's better I just start doing them at a new time. Big up, bro. Appreciate you being in, man. It's been a while. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, big up, man. Big up. Hope you guys like the new background as well, people. Hope you guys are enjoying the new background. Big up to my brother Vidge, who did design this one for me. And big up Night Tom Kid as well, man. Big up to Night Tom Kid locked in the building. Hope you're doing well as well, brother. Just trying to find a way at the moment so I don't have to. There we go. There we go. That's better. Much better now. The badge in the background isn't getting in the way. I'm blurring it out. So there we go. Big up, man. Big up to everyone locked in. Appreciate every single one of you currently in the building. Obviously, the topic of today's discussion is why FSG, Liverpool's board, not just FSG to be fair, pardon me, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes as well. Thank you, AFC always. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. This is all thanks to the brother Vidge, man. All thanks to my brother Vidge who did design this for me. So big up him, man. Big him up, man. That is quite something. You know, I love Mo being in there. I love Virgil lifting the trophy up as well. I love Diogo being in there as well. It's a lovely touch, man. So big up to my brother Vidge for designing this. 4 a.m. My end, loving it. Nighttime kid, you know, man's watching at 4 a.m. Man's locked in at 4 a.m. Big up yourself, brother. Big up to yourself, man. Yeah, dedication, man. Dedication. I appreciate that a lot. Means a lot, man. Man said 4 a.m., you know. 4 a.m. over in Jamaica and man's locked in watching. Big up, man. Big up. Big up, man. So, why are Liverpool's board persisting with Arne Slot? Now, that's a question that I think a lot of us are wondering. And it's a good thing to wonder at the moment, isn't it? Because it makes zero sense why you persist with a manager who has quite obviously taken you backwards and regressed us from where we were last year and where we've been for the last couple of years as well. What conclusion can I come up to really as to why Slot is still here and why he's expected to still be here next season from the reports that are breaking and the reports that are out there? I can think of one word and one reason only, guys, and that is Arne Slot is a yes man. That's all I can think of. The man is a yes man. And our owner's like a yes man who's not going to challenge the authority. I think he goes. I think he goes. So, Night Tom Kid, you still think Slot's going to get sacked, yeah? Interesting. Because he won the league. He did win the league, Night Tom Kid, and winning the league, of course, in your first full season as Liverpool manager, taking over after Jurgen Klopp is always going to be a very amazing achievement. However, I think there's only so long you can do the whole he's won the league narrative, you know what I'm saying? And I feel that is going to run out very, very soon. That might work this season, but next season it will now be his third season, and him winning the league, that narrative is going to very quickly disappear. See, this is what I think, Nighttime Kid here, because of UCL football. If we keep him, and the reason we kept him is because we managed to qualify for the Champions League, finishing the top 5, that will tell us all we need to know about the ambition of FST and the ambition of where our club is. It will show that something that we've already known though for a while. We've known this, to be fair. It will just show that all this club, all this ownership, all this hierarchy care about is constantly qualifying for the Champions League. That's what it will show me. And that should not be the mentality and what we're looking to do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're the biggest and most successful club in England. We should be behaving like that, and we should be acting like that on and off the pitch. And our actions this season have been the total opposite of that. Big up to Brian. Big up yourself, Brian. Good morning to you as well, man. Hope you're well wherever you are. I'm doing well. Hope the chat's doing well as well. Hope you're doing well as well. Big up yourself, man. Appreciate you being in. I think he kind of maybe deserves a bit. I hear what you're trying to say, Nighttime Kid. You're trying to say give him the benefit of the doubt. I think what you're trying to say is maybe he's been unlucky this season. Maybe it's a freak season and he'll be better next year. I hear that, Nighttime Kid. Is that a possibility? Yes, but it's a very unlikely possibility. I'll be honest. Look, if Slot was the guy, if he was just having an off season, you would have still seen patterns of play and a style of football during the season as it's gone on that we can all resonate with. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that he wasn't been able to figure out, the stuff that he was getting wrong at the beginning of the season, he would have found a way to deal with that by now. He would have. And look, we're 8-9 games, we're 4 or 5 games left now, and we still look just as disjointed as we did at the beginning of the season. He hasn't been able to find a way to get us ticking and fixing the issue. And there's nothing that I've seen in the way we've played, the way we play football, the way he presents himself, that he can find a way to fix this. There really isn't. Look, if you guys keep him, then he needs to bring UCL or Prem. He needs to bring a trophy next season. Nighttime Kid. If I've said this, and I've got this live for that schedule tomorrow, but if he stays, he's got to be backed. He has to be backed, You've got to give him his funds. You've got to give him the money. And you've got to make sure he has a complete squad going into next year. Give him all of his players. Give him a centre-back, a DM, a winger. Stack the squad up. You know what I'm saying? Spend a load so he has no excuses next season with a full squad to not be in the title race, to not bring an exciting brand of football, and to not have us challenging again. And if we do that and we're still struggling, then it will be blatantly obvious where the issue is. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be because it'll be him who's the issue. It's all about the here and now. Facts, man. 100%, man. It's all about the here and now. You know what I'm saying? The past doesn't matter no more, respectfully. It doesn't. The future, again, yes, you look to the future, but it's irrelevant at the moment. We live in the here and now. You know what I'm saying? And the here and now is the facts of the matter for the here and now are that Liverpool just haven't been up to the races this season. Haven't set the heights that they did last year, and we haven't been able to push on from that title win. Instead, what we've done is spend 500 million, and somehow you've regressed. How do you spend 500 million and regress? Honestly, how do you do that? How are you able to spend 5 mil and you end up going backwards instead of going forwards? That's amazing. It really is amazing, isn't it? Honestly, I want you lot to win and go on the charge for the Prem, so Arsenal have less chance to win it. But now you guys should be doing more. We should be doing a lot more than that, Tomkin. We should have retained this Premier League with the money we spent, with the quality we brought in, with how well we did last year after spending no money. You think that with Slot proving himself last season as well, with Jurgen's team, that this season he'd have us in a better position, especially after getting some signings in the summer. Instead, we've gone backwards. He's taken us backwards, and taken us backwards by a big significance. We've gone from being Premier League champions to being in a top 5 race, and I'm like, what? How have we managed that? How have we managed that? Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And we should be winning the league, I agree. Honestly, look, I'll always expect Liverpool to do well, regardless of who the manager is. I'll always support the boys. I'll always back the team on the pitch. Whether I believe in the coach or not is a different story. But if we get some good players in the summer, regardless of the manager situation, I'd expect us to challenge because I'd say our team has quality enough in it to give up to challenge for a league title or even a Champions League. So I'll always back the boys, but it'll be incredibly hard when we have a manager that we don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? We should be doing a lot more night time, kid. You're spot on there. I'm in London. Okay. Okay, Brian. Big up, man. Big up, man. Watching all the way from London. Big up yourself. I think he just chucks players in and hopes for the best Madrid style. That's exactly what's happening that time, kid. I think to begin with, Slot did try and implement a style, this possession-based brand of football, but obviously I feel either he's ditched it and he's just relying on the individual brilliance himself, or the players have ditched it on the pitch. Because I watched the Newcastle game here when we won 4-1 at home. And for the first 30 to 35 minutes, they were the better team. They went 1-0 up. As soon as they go 1-0 up, it's almost like the players thought, fuck this. We're not going to play how the manager wants us to play. We're going to go back to what we know best, and that is high pressing, high energy football. And we blitzed them 4-1 after that. And I feel Slot just goes along with it. He just goes along with it. But I definitely feel there's been times this season where the team have just ditched what he's telling them to do and gone out there, and we've gone back to our roots, what we know best, and we've gone out there and smoked Newcastle by doing that. So I think he stopped trying to implement style a while ago. You know, with the individuals he's got, he's probably put Salah in there. You put Wirtz in there. You think, okay, you guys get me a moment of individual brilliance and win us the game. Exactly, very much Real Madrid style, which again I don't like because that's not what we're supposed to be. We've always been a team that might not have the most quality, but you know we're going to play as a team and give it our all on the pitch. I don't ever want to be a team that just relies on individual brilliance because you're not an exciting team to watch in that case, are you? You're not. You're not an exciting team to watch. FSG won't back him. You know how much you spend this season. Oh, I know. No, Tom Kid. I know. I know. I think we're going to spend money, but I don't think we're going to spend enough money. Put it this way, Night Tom Kid. I think we're going to spend, but I will be very surprised if come the end of the summer we're not short in one position, whether that's centre back, being short a centre back or two, whether that's being short a midfielder or two, whether that's an 8, a DM, whatever, whether we're short a winger. I genuinely think we will go into next season and one key position we're going to be lacking, and that's going to be an issue. You know, 23, we were lacking in midfield. FSG sent us into the season with our old midfield and it cost us. Didn't even qualify for the Champions League that year. A big shock, ended up in the Europa League. 22-24, yes, Klopp's last season we did a title charge. We didn't go into the season with a DM. I feel that cost us. You're telling me if we don't bring a DM in, it doesn't make a difference to our title charge that year? And Klopp doesn't go out in the way we want him to go out? I'm saying 2021, you can even go back that far. Van Dijk gets injured. You don't sign a centre-back replacement in January. Luckily, we salvaged top 4 that year, but FSG, they don't learn from their mistakes. They keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. And it comes down to a lack of, well, it starts to look like real incompetence at the highest order. I hear you, Brian. I know it's not all well and good over in Chelsea as well, man. I know it's not the greatest over in Chelsea either. I hear that, Brian. I hear it. I know you guys are struggling over there as well. Big up to Boss Baptispo. Appreciate you being in the building. Big up yourself, man. Honestly, if you told anyone that Liverpool wouldn't be top 2 this season, no one would believe you. Facts, Night Time Kid. With the money we spent, I was confident we'd retain the league, as were a lot of people. Rivals were even saying we were going to retain the league with the business we did. But I thought minimum, even if we don't retain it, we'll still finish second. We'll still be in the top 2. We're not even in the top 2, guys. You know, Manchester United, who finished 15th last season and underperformed big time, are above us and overperforming us at the moment, playing better than us. Aston Villa are performing better than us and are above us. You know, we're scrambling around for top 5 with the likes of Chelsea, who are also poor, the likes of Brighton, the likes of who else is there? Brentford, Everton, our rivals. That's not good enough, man. You don't spend 500 million to be in a position like that. Let's be honest with it. You don't. You don't, man. Look, same with my club. We spent money on scrubs and rubbish players, wasted money like Gallagher was. What was he bought for? He runs him running. He's bad at that also. I hear that, Night Time Kid. Conor Gallagher, to be fair for Spurs, very, very weird signing. Makes no sense. The man was a Chelsea reject. Chelsea let that man go for a reason. They did. And the fact that Spurs go and sign him after all that makes zero sense to me. I mean, what was that all about? At our worst, the Premier League, at our worst in the Premier League, sorry, we haven't finished lower than 6th. And we only had 3 decent players in them squads. Stevie G saved us. The squad is almost amazing, and we are so bad. Get him out. This is what I'm saying, Bus Baptiste, man. Past Liverpool teams that might not have had the most quality would probably still beat this Liverpool team because they'd be hard working on the pitch. They'd give it their all. They have a manager who coached them well and drill into them what they need or what he requires. The squad that Jurgen Klopp took over back in 2015 when he joined, when we had the likes of Mignolet, Skirtle, Klein, all these, like, yeah, it was a bad team, I remember. It gives me deja vu and PTSD just thinking about that team. That team would probably still beat this Liverpool team now because, one, Klopp's the manager, and he'd have them well drilled in how he wants them to play. And a Klopp team, we know, always has fight. It always has desire, commitment on the pitch, regardless of the result. So that team would probably beat this team because they'd have more heart, they'd have more effort, they'd have more fight and desire in them. Which is crazy to say because this team now is a lot more talented quality-wise than that team. But what does quality mean? Quality means nothing if you don't show on the pitch that you're hungry and you want it and you're committed. Oh, wow. No way, Brian. Scott Parker leaves Burnley. That's crazy. Has that just spoken this morning yet? Must have just spoken a couple of minutes ago. Sky usually put out stuff like that early morning. That is crazy, Brian. That is crazy. Very, very odd there. But yeah, that's mad for Burnley. That is mad. I wonder where he goes then, Scott Parker, because I do think he's a decent coach. I wonder where he goes next. I think Prophet is right because if you get Alonso, he ain't a yes man. He won't stand for rubbish. And if you don't get anything in his first season, they want to sack him. Not even just that, not a Tom Kid. He'll walk. You know, he's not a yes man. If he doesn't get what he wants, he'll walk. It's like any manager of an elite caliber isn't a yes man. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't get what they want, if they don't buy into what the club are doing, if they come in and they sense that the club's ambition and the club's hierarchy doesn't match the ambition that they have as a coach to win, they'll walk. You know what I'm saying? They will walk. And managers have done it in the past. Maresca walked from Chelsea. Why? Because the ambition of the hierarchy and the ownership was not the ambition that he had. He wanted to win trophies. He wanted to be successful. They obviously don't. So managers do walk. Now, yes, they said he departed mutually, but I feel like he would have walked away anyway with the way he was talking. So, yes, you're right. Not a Tom Kid. Pardon me. Xabi Alonso isn't a yes man. And he certainly won't stand for rubbish. He didn't stand for rubbish at Real Madrid, man. If you go to Real Madrid and you don't stand for rubbish, you ain't going to stand for rubbish at Liverpool for sure. Brain never rate him. I don't know what that means, that Tom Kid. Bless up to Jimbo, man. Big up yourself, Jimbo. We finished 6th 3 times. Well, we finished 8th 3 times in the Premiership history. Yeah, I know, Jimbo. I remember the first season Klopp took over. When he came in halfway through the season, we were 14th. I think Brendan Rodgers had us at 14th. He comes in halfway through the season, ends up finishing 8th. So I remember that one. In recent years, though, we still usually do well. You know, I think the lowest we finished in recent years is 5th. You know what I'm saying? Average 1st or 2nd. We had the 3rd where we finished 3rd in lockdown, 2021. 5th in the 22-23 season. 3rd 2 years ago, 1st, and then this season again we're probably going to finish 5th or 4th, aren't we? Let's be honest. But yeah, Jimbo, we have, I know. Scott Parker should never manage again. He cries way too much for a so-called leader of a football club. He has kids looking up to him, and that was every time. I hear that, Bus Baptiste. I do hear that, man. He's had an interesting career, Scott Parker has, hasn't he? He was at Fulham back in 2018-19. Feels like ages ago, but yeah. Got them relegated, then got them promoted, then he got them relegated again when he came up with them a couple of years later. Then leaves Fulham, he goes to Bournemouth, gets Bournemouth promoted, comes to the league, gets absolutely slapped by us 9-0. I remember that game. We beat them 9-0, gets sacked by Bournemouth. Goes to Burnley, wins them the championship, gets promoted, and then for Burnley, he gets them relegated. So he's clearly a manager for the championship, isn't he? That's clearly what he is. He's a championship level manager. Every time he's come up to the Prem or in the Prem, been in the Prem, managed in the Prem, should I say, he's just come up short and he's been unable to deal with it. He's a rubbish manager. For the championship, for a championship club, he's probably good. But for a Premier League club, he's obviously not good enough. Heard rumours Coventry want him, but this deadbeat bum club won't let him go. Like closing. Nah, not Tom Kid. Frank Lampard got Coventry promoted. I think they've got to stick with him. I feel Coventry have to stick with Frank Lampard. The man got them promoted. He brought them back to a big time. So they'd be dumb not to stick with him. Exactly, Jimbo. They should stick with Lampard. If you got them promoted, you've got to have faith that if you give him a window, bring in some good quality, that he can have them. He can have them higher up, and he can have them competing in the Premier League. Look at Sunderland this year. Sunderland got promoted. I think a lot of us had Sunderland. Let's be honest, guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys had Sunderland getting relegated. None of us probably had them staying up. We had them finishing in the bottom three easily. They've come up, and look where they are in the league. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they've fallen off a bit recently, but they've had an incredible season. So if Coventry keep Lampard, there's no reason why they can't do the same thing. Let's be honest. There is no reason. Yeah, they should, Night Tom Kid, reward his faith. If he's not good, of course, then get rid of him. But I think you got to give him the benefit of the doubt and take him into next season. Oh my God, Jimbo, is he actually no longer with us? That is crazy. R.I.P. Phil Thompson, man. Wow, that is crazy, man. If that's actually just happened now. Big up Phil Thompson, man. That's rest in peace, mate. That's crazy. That news has thrown me off a bit. Wow. It's not been a great year for us, man, has it? Tragedy-wise, we've lost a lot this year. That is mad. Wow. R.I.P. Phil Thompson, man. What a player. That's another tragedy we've had to deal with this year now. That's another one. Obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to Thompson's family and everything, but that's thrown me off, man. It really has. Wow. R.I.P. to him. Wow. It's just not going for us tragedy-wise this year, is it? You know why most of these past players are managing clubs or own clubs? They know what and how to run a club, and like my fucking owners, but they're so bad. I hear that Night Tom Kid. Just look at David Beckham. Look at what David Beckham's doing over in the States, man. Is it Inter Miami that he owns, the team that Messi plays for? Messi, Suarez and them lot. But yeah, David Beckham is a perfect example, ex-player, gone into club management, or not club management, club ownership. And he's actually running into Miami relatively well, isn't he? Other than Beckham, there's no other real player that I can think of that is out there and winning stuff. Or owns a club. But yeah, Beckham's a perfect example of that. One thing they care about money. You could think back in the team brings more funds. See, this is the thing now, Tom Kid. You earn more money and you win more money as a club when you win trophies. So these owners who think Champions League football qualification is all the money in the world. If you win a trophy, you get even more money, man. So common sense would tell you owners should think, okay, we want to win a trophy too because that brings success to the club. It is astonishing the amount of ownerships that don't care about success and winning. It genuinely is. This is football, man. This is football. You play football to win trophies. It's been like that since football started back in all them years ago. You play to win a trophy or win trophies. And the amount of ownerships that have bought clubs and the lack of ambition these guys have to win a trophy. Why are you owning a club if you don't want to win? Why are you owning a club if you have got no interest in wanting to win? Don't own a football club. Go into something else. I don't know, go into tennis, go into golf, something like that. Obviously, football is not the right sport for you if you don't want to win. Let's be honest about it. It is shocking. I'm going to have a look later, but apparently it is, yeah. Jimbo's just put it in there. That is crazy news. Very, very sad news as well, man. Very sad news. But yeah, Night Tom Kid, winning a trophy gets you more money, really, and it brings success to the club, puts you on the map. So these ownerships, like the likes of the Glazers, the likes of the Cronkies, the likes of the Tottenham ownership, Chelsea now under Blue Car, I believe they're called. Yeah. All these ownerships, they don't want to win. They don't care. They see Manchester United as a brand, as a business, and they run it like a business. It's not a business, it's a football club, man. It's a football club. You know what I'm saying? It is a football club. We ain't a business. We ain't an enterprise. Football clubs. You buy us, I expect you to come in with the right mentality. You're going to spend money to back the manager at the club and the players at the club. You're going to keep us successful every year. You're going to bring in the elite players, the best of the best. Coach-wise, you're going to bring in the best coaches, the best of the best. And every year, you're going to spend money and you're going to have us competing and winning trophies. That's what I want for my ownership year in, year out. Instead, what do these guys do? They fuck around, they screw around, and they don't bring in the proper recruitment. They don't recruit well. They hire incompetent people, and they don't want to win. You know, a lot of them, Champions League qualifications enough. Some of them don't even care about that. So it's mad. Ownership in the Premiership, it's just really bad, man, isn't it? It's really, really bad. When you hire a club legend, the fans will never blame the manager. The players and the board will all get the stick. That is very true, Brian, indeed. A perfect example of that. Remember when United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Back in, well, when they had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a couple of years ago. I don't remember any fans, bar maybe a couple, turning on him because of who he was, because of what he did for them as a player. The United ex-players, the likes of Gary Neville, never turned on the guy. They were backing him till the end, even when at the end it was blatantly obvious that he wasn't the guy for them. He wasn't going to take them forward. They were still backing him, believing in him, having faith in him. And yeah, you know, it's hard to do it. You know, when you played with a person year in, year out, when you've walked out side by side with them on the pitch, very hard to turn on them. It's very, very hard. And naturally, then, yeah, you know, because they're an ex-player, because you love them, you don't go for them. You go for the ownership and the hierarchy, don't you? I'm sure Chelsea fans were like that a little bit when Lampard was the manager at first. Madrid fans are a different breed, to be fair. They don't really give a crap. They were hounding Alonso out. I'm sure we'd be like that if we got an ex-player in. So, yeah, that's a very common theme. When you hire a club legend as a manager, because of who they are, even if they're doing poorly, the fans, it'll take a lot for the fans to turn on them. It'll take a lot. Naturally, the board get over stick, which is exactly how United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were. You know what I'm saying? Have news from the last transfer window. Other people want to buy my club and these owners don't want to sell. Not a top kid. If the offer's right, if the money's right, anyone will sell. You know what I'm saying? If the money's right, if a group come in with the right amount, I'm sure the Spurs ownership will listen. You know, as much as they probably don't want to sell, as much as they probably see Tottenham as a what's the word? As much as they see Tottenham as their money grab, as their thing that they get money from and they generate money from year in, year out, and as much as they're money hungry and power hungry, if the money's right, at the end of the day, they're businessmen, they're millionaires. All they care about is one thing: money. If the offer's right, if an ownership group, another ownership group come in with the right offer, I'm sure the Spurs ownership will listen. I'm sure they will, man. That's the main point. All these owners are happy with is the sound of money, cash cows, and they don't think of a legacy. They don't, not Jimbo. You know, they don't. I think in our case, we're very fortunate that we had a generational manager who was able to work around ownership or our ownership being crap. But it's mad. You know, all these clubs are built on success, aren't they? United were built on success. Arsenal were built on success. Chelsea were built on success. And these new ownership groups come into football and they just bury clubs, man. Look at how the Glazers have just buried Manchester United. Just look how they've buried their club into the ground. You know, year in, year out, after years of incompetence, after years of being mediocre owners. Look how they've just buried Manchester United. Look at what the Cronkies have done at Arsenal. down the years, how they've just buried Arsenal from where they were. You look at Spurs. I know Spurs were never really serious back in the day either, but they were never in a position like this. Their ownership have completely buried them. Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, we knew how good they were. They were very ambitious and wanted to win year in, year out. But you look at them as well now, under their new ownership, Blue Co. Within about 2023, was it Blue Co came in 2023? So it's been 3 years of the Blue Co ownership at Chelsea. It's taken them only 3 years to bury Chelsea Football Club. That is crazy, man. That is very crazy. Saying Coventry want Gallagher, I want my club to offload him now. Well, that'd be a good move for him, to be fair, not a Tom Kid. If he goes to Coventry under Frank Lampard, maybe that's a decent move for him, not a Tom Kid. He's had a mad career, man. You go from Chelsea to Atletico Madrid to Tottenham and now to Coventry. That's mad. Absolute madness. That's very, very sad news, Jimbo. Very, very sad news. Apparently it is, Brian. You know, Jimbo wouldn't just make that up. Liverpool has a lot from last year. Player-wise, are you talking? We've got a couple of... Well, to be fair, not Tom Kid, we've lost a lot. We've bought in a lot, but we've lost a lot as well. Dare I say, some of the players we bought in don't really suit the Liverpool system and the way we want to play. Now, as much as Darwin Núñez did my head in last season, as much as I do think it was the correct decision to sell him, because ultimately, I don't think he was a good enough striker. He did fit the Liverpool way. I can see why Jurgen Klopp signed him. He was a Liverpool-type player. Granted, he didn't live up to the hype, but pressing-wise, the guy was an animal. He used to press that crazy. Yes, as a finisher, he was shocking. Couldn't finish for crap, but you can see why we signed him. A Liverpool-type player. Diogo Jota, R.I.P. Diogo. Obviously, I have his image right there. Big up to Vidge for putting that in again. You know, much appreciated. It's a very, very good gesture. We can see why we signed Diogo back in 2020. Pressing monster. The main part of Jurgen Klopp's system, you got to press like an animal. Diogo Jota at Wolves showed that he could do that. Hence why he was brought in. A Liverpool-type player. You know what I'm saying? Mohamed Salah, Liverpool-type player. Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, Liverpool-type players. Who else do we have in the team that we let go? Luis Diaz, perfect example, guys. I said this on a short yesterday. What were we thinking when we let Lucho go, man? Look how much he's balling out over at Bayern. Look how much he's elevated to the next level. He's gone 2 or 3 levels up over there, which is absolutely mad. Crazy, man. But you can see why Liverpool bought him when we bought him. Proper Jurgen Klopp type player. Presses like crazy. So you lose all of these players that fit so well in the Klopp system, that fit our club's philosophy and the way we want to play. And you replace them with players who don't have that same energy. Alexander Isak is a very good striker, but he doesn't press. And at Liverpool, pressing is important because it's part of how we play. Same with the Florian Wirtz. Same with Frimpong and all these other players we brought in. Good players, but they're not workaholic engine. Now, granted, yes, that can be coached into them, but Slot isn't a manager that's going to play high energy, high pressing football. He's going to play a slow, boring possession brand of football. So yes, it can be coached into these players to become like what them not were. But it's going to take the right manager to do that. And for me, Arne Slot isn't that right coach. He isn't. But Baptista, I agree. All we can say is thanks to Tomo, man. You know, for all their memories, you'll never walk alone up there, man. You know, resting at peace over there now with Diogo. Hopefully he's at peace, man, if that is true. But that's incredibly sad news for the club. Incredibly sad news. This club has been the reason Son and Kane never won anything major together. Yes, not a Tom Kid. That is true, man. That was a very deadly partnership. I will admit, even as a rival, the Kane and Son dynamic was very, very good. The way they used to link up and score. Either it was one assisting the other for a goal or it was vice versa. A very good partnership for Spurs. And it is crazy when you think about it that those two never won anything together. It is mental, but yeah, man, you can only blame your hierarchy again for showing no ambition for that. You can only blame your hierarchy on that. We got around 100 million for winning the Club World Cup. So there you go, Brian. You still get money for trophies too. So why did these people come in with the mindset of as long as we get Champions League qualification, that's all? Brothers, you own football clubs. And the aim of football is to win a trophy. And you come in with the mindset of, oh, let's just get Champions League money year in, year out. Get out of here. Sell the club to someone who actually cares and wants to invest. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these ownerships, they've buried clubs, man. They've run them into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Glazers absolutely ruined Manchester United, man. Arsenal, again, have had a bit of a resurgence recently with challenging for leagues again. Not winning nothing, but they are up there challenging. Before that, we're in a bad position too. Spurs, no words need to be said on them. You can see what position they're in. Chelsea, it's taken Blue Coat 3 years to run Chelsea into the ground. 3 years. You'd always think that after Abramovich left, they'd go through a period where they're not the same. But it took them less than a year, actually, guys, because the first season of the Blue Coat, Chelsea actually finished 11th. So imagine that, man. The ownership comes in and takes them less than 3 years to run a club into the ground. But Chelsea are running into the ground now. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Apparently, yeah, Nighttime Kid Brian wouldn't lie about that. They probably did get 100 mil for winning that Conference League. Think so. It has not widely been spread, but I did catch something about an hour ago. I will say, Jimbo, hopefully it is fake news, because it's never nice to think that we could have lost someone or an ex-player of that caliber played for us. But if it is, of course, RIP to Phil Thompson, man. RIP to him. I'll have to have a look at that after the stream. Yo, big up to Josh CJ, man. Good morning to you too. Yeah, Josh CJ, I've decided to do early streams, man. Yesterday during the stream with Rasta, I was getting a lot of technical issues. There's a reason I don't stream late at night, because my Wi-Fi bees on fuckery in the night, and it has been for the last couple of weeks. So I think going forward, I'm going to start doing early morning streams rather than doing them in the evening, midday, or in the night, because yesterday, not going to lie, man, I was getting too much issues. Man. So this might be the time for me going forward. They did, yeah, Nighttime Kid. Close to one. So they didn't get 100 mil exactly, but they got close to 100 mil. Makes sense. Big up to my brother King, man. Big up to my brother King, another one of the fellows to put a realist. Appreciate you, man. Man said speaking nothing but facts. Look, just saying it how it is, man. Just saying it how it is. Big up yourself, man. Make sure you sub to my brother King, guys. I'm going to put his link. Well, do put his link in mods if you can. And I will pin that. Big up to my brother, man. Big up to my brother. If you can put his link in, please do, people. Depending on how much relegated teams spend, they get more in parachute payments than the winner of the Premier League. So it's falling as soon as it starts. Why bother even trying? I hear that, Bus Baptiste. And the fact that teams get relegated as well. Teams get relegated and they earn money for that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are teams getting paid out for being relegated? And don't be surprised if there are teams out there that are coming up deliberately and then going back down deliberately because they know they'll get them payments. It's mad that a team gets relegated and they get payments for it. They get paid. No wonder Norwich have been a yo-yo team for so long. Norwich, no, man. They get the score. You know what I'm saying? Norwich obviously know what's going on. You know, they're obviously thinking, you know what? We'll get promoted. We'll go back down and we'll earn the money. They know, man. You got to big up them, man. They recognize the game. They're playing the game well. But that's mental, Bus Baptiste. A team gets relegated and they get paid for being relegated. It's mental, man. And they get earned, and they get more as well than the Premier League winners. Oh my God. The system's broken. The system is broke. Why don't my dumb owners want to sell up? Well, to be fair, not Tom Kid. Tottenham is a big cash cow, isn't it? Footballing wise, you're not great, but the stadium sells out a lot, doesn't it? You have boxing events there. You're probably going to have a Taylor Swift concert there at some point. Let's be honest. That's probably going to happen at some point. You'll have other concerts there. I'm sure a lot of other musicians are going to come and have concerts there. So it's going to sell out from a revenue perspective. The boxing events will continue. You'll probably have other events down there. You'll probably have NFL down the line. So, yeah, Nighttime Kid, you are a big cash cow, man. Your stadium fills out a lot. Even if it's not for football, it fills out a lot, man. So, you're screwed, Nighttime Kid. I don't want to say it, but you are, because ENIC actually own your stadium. I didn't know this until recently, but ENIC actually own your stadium. So even if they sell the club, even if they sell Tottenham the club, they still own the stadium. You guys are screwed. Unless they somehow sell the stadium too. You guys are screwed. Real talk. you're always going to generate money in that ground because of how nice it is, because of all the events you have there. You're always going to have you're always going to have well, you're always going to sell out money wise, commercial wise, with the events you have. So I'm not surprised they're reluctant to keep you. I'm not surprised they're reluctant to keep you around and want to leech off your club even more. I'm not. But again, if some ownership group comes in with the right money, I still expect them to probably look at it and eye it up. I think that'd be fucking crazy not to, especially if it's a big offer. I say that for any ownership group. Chelsea with Lampard as well. If you're talking about the club legend thing and not turning on them, yeah. Although Chelsea did get a bit toxic under Lampard when he was there. But yeah, a lot of them try their hardest to back club legends. I know I'd be, if Alonso came in and he wasn't doing well, I'd be backing him. I'd be backing him to the ends because of who he is. I wouldn't want to turn on the guy. But ultimately, it comes to a point where if they're not good enough, they're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Sosa at United, it came to a point where United fans just have to say, no, look, he's a club legend, he's great, but he's tactically inept. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. And you do have to part ways. Can't lie. He's half a Madrid fan. Alonso had to go. As half a Madrid fan, Alonso had to go. I hear that. No, Tomkin. I hear it. I hear it. You probably just don't think he's a good enough caliber of a manager to be the Madrid coach, which is fair enough. Completely fair enough, man. When you look at the coaches Madrid have had down the years, Jose Mourinho, who's probably going to go back there again now for his second spell. Carlo Ancelotti twice. Zinedine Zidane. Respectfully to Xabi, the downgrade from him to them is quite a lot. So Madrid fans probably just didn't think he was the right caliber to lead them forward. Now, I don't think, again, I've made my feelings clear on the Alonso and Madrid thing. I don't think it was on him, what happened at Madrid. I don't think he could really do much, but I heard if Madrid fans saying they didn't want him, I can understand why. You know what I'm saying? Well, now they're going to get Mourinho back, so they'll take it, man. They got rid of Alonso, they're bringing Mourinho back in. Sure, they're fine with that. I just saw the amount. It says 84.7 million. That is fucking mental, Brian. You got a lot for winning that Club World Cup, didn't you? A lot. That is mental. Really, really crazy. Close, yeah. One of the main reasons that I'm pleased Gerrard has not become Liverpool manager yet. Jimbo, I don't think he ever will. He's going to have to prove himself big time if he wants to be the next Liverpool manager. When he was at Villa, his first half season at Villa, he did well. And I thought, okay, maybe if Klopp leaves down the years, he can be there. I can see him at Liverpool. Did incredibly well at Rangers in Scotland, won them the league. But then his second season at Villa had a big fall off, ended up getting sacked. Then he went to the Saudi League, ended up getting sacked there, didn't do well. He has to do what Lampard did, Gerrard does. He has to go somewhere in the Championship, maybe even back to Scotland. And he's going to have to bring a team up, promote them, and have them winning. To even get looked at, even that wouldn't be enough, low-key. If he'd succeeded at Aston Villa, completely different story. It would have been a completely different story, but Gerrard can never be Liverpool manager unless he proves himself big time in the future, and I don't see that happening. I really don't, man. And I don't think FSG will be dumb enough to hire him. If it's an interim basis, fair enough, but they never do that, so yeah. And I think, again, the reason Slot is still here is because he's a yes man. He's never going to challenge FSG's authority. He'll never challenge Hughes and Edwards' authority. He's a good little boy. And that's why they're so persistent to keep him, because they don't want to lose their yes man. If Alonso comes in, you're going to have a different caliber of coach who's not going to take shit and mediocrity. Slot seems more than happy with mediocrity and accepting it. Hence why he's still our coach. Makes complete sense, man. To be fair, if I was an ownership group and I had that mentality, I want to keep him as well, because he's a good little boy. He doesn't challenge no one's authority, which is mad because last season he came across really ruthless. Man's just done a complete 180 just like that. Owners of our club used to listen to the fans. We got beat by Preston 5-0 and Shankly was manager of Preston. The cop for the next game shouted Stanley's name. The club then brought him in. Bus Baptiste, again, it's upsetting that we're not being voted. Again, that's mentality, isn't it? That's standards. And we showed that as well with Hicks and Gillette. Our last ownership group before FSG, they tried to run us in the ground. And we all came together on that. All us Liverpool fans came together, ran them owners out of the club. they dipped very quickly. So the Liverpool fans, we've shown the power of the Liverpool fans numerous times over the years. We've shown that we don't take shit. And I think it's time to do that again. Because Arne cannot be allowed to continue into next season. He cannot be. If that means we've got to get a bit toxic in the ground, if that means we've got to hold up some banners that aren't particularly nice, nothing horrible, but just banners that let us know, let the ownership know how we feel, so be it. We cannot go into next season with Arne Slot as head coach. It's going to be so detrimental to us, not just for next season, but for the next couple of years, especially if he's given another window to implement the squad and experiment on it even more. It's going to set us back years, man. So if we've got to get a bit toxic, if we've got to start out banners out, don't want it to get to that point. But if we have to, if that's the only way we can get our ownership to listen to us, our hierarchy to listen to us, and voice our content, so be it, man. So be it. I mean, it's not nice, but so be it. The other day, for the Palace game, we protested on the ticket prices. Great stuff. I'm glad the fans weren't standing for that. But we need that same type of energy when it comes to what's going on at the club, where we are this season. You know, we should be kicking off, really, because it's not been good enough. And we haven't been kicking off in the ground, which I don't like. We're fifth after spending 5 mil. Fans aren't kicking off in the ground. Why not? It's not good enough, guys. Be vocal about it. Again, even now with this news that Slot must stay or might stay, fans should be going livid. They should be going mental. And there's nothing in the ground, no Slot out banners, no nothing. I don't want it to get toxic like that, but that's the only way they're going to listen to us. Then what can we do? We're going to have to do what we got to do for our club's success and the betterment of our club. I feel the fans need to be a lot more vocal, man. I feel they've been way too accepting of what's happened this season, which is very unlike us. Big up to Die for Liverpool, man. Last summer, Diaz could have stayed with us, but some Liverpool fans just say, I see we're bullied. We're bullying him on Instagram because of Jota's death. I think he takes those comments personally and left us. I wouldn't go that far, Die for Liverpool. I wouldn't make assumptions up like that. I wouldn't or assume things like that. I know Luis Diaz got a lot of stick because he was in Colombia the day of Diogo Jota's funeral when the rest of the team were over in Portugal. He was in Colombia doing something else. Everyone grieves differently. You know, I'm not one to tell someone how to grieve a loved one that they've lost. Everyone grieves in a different way. Alisson Becker didn't go to the funeral of Diogo Jota. He missed it. Mohamed Salah couldn't go. Diaz obviously must have had reasons for not being able to go. Everyone grieves differently. Just because someone doesn't put a post out doesn't mean that they're not grieving in their own way secretly. You know, just because they haven't posted on social media about the thing doesn't mean they don't feel the pain. So if Liverpool fans were bullying him because of that, shame on them. Shame on them, because they're not Liverpool fans in my eyes. I wouldn't say that's the reason he left, though. I do stand by it. I think the real reason Lucho did leave is because he wanted that pay increase. Slot wanted to give it to him by the looks of it. Club didn't want to give it, and he put in the transfer request and he went buying. Very, very bizarre decision when you look back at it, isn't it? Very bizarre decision, because you look at him now, he's very quickly becoming one of the best, if not already top 5 wingers in the world. He is balling out at Bayern, man, differently. You know, and again, credit to Bayern's manager, because he's able to get the best out of Diaz, and he's not only getting the best out of him, he's elevated him to another level to how Diaz was playing under Jurgen and how he was playing under Slot last season. He's brought Diaz up 2 or 3 levels now. The man is balling out over there. And we look like real mugs now. We try to be smart with that, and it's backfired because he's over there doing so well, carrying Bayern to stuff. And yeah, we're not doing too well. The Glazers, Salman United, with a lot of depth, borrowing against that club for their other non-football related projects. So I know, Jimbo, yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely freaking crazy, man, how they just run them into the ground. Look, I hate United. I'll never want to see United succeed, and long may their downfall continue. But it is kind of sad to an extent when you see fans suffering because of inept ownership. Because at the end, pardon me, at the end of the day, fans are the ones who suffer, aren't they? We're the ones who go to the games. We're the ones who pay for the merch. We're the ones who support the club. We're the ones who want to see us winning trophies and being the best. When we're not doing that, we suffer. Ownership doesn't suffer, do they? Hierarchy doesn't suffer. We suffer as fans. We feel the pain. They don't. They're over in America on their yachts in Miami, Florida, New York, wherever. We're here in the UK watching the team week in, week out, paying for them to actually be able to go on these yachts because of the money we provide them by buying the merch and going to games. We suffer, man, the fans, not them. Not them. And the fact that they treat us, the fans, like this is crazy. To be honest, our fan base is the most dumb fan base I've ever seen. I wouldn't say that, to be fair, die for Liverpool. They're doing the same thing with Jones. Also, if he leaves us, I'll be like DS situation is potential to be Bettina or Pedri. I wouldn't look. Everyone has different opinions. Die for Liverpool, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call our fan base dumb because they got a different take on Jones or something. But I hear you, man. I don't know if he's got potential to be like Bettina or Pedri though. I think that's a bit of a step, but I do hear what you mean. I wasn't happy when the club sacked Lampard and brought in Thomas Tuchel. After what he's done, I can't complain. Brian, I think sacking Thomas Tuchel was a big mistake your club made. I can't lie. I think that was a really poor decision that Blue Car made when they came in. Straight up, sack him. You bring in then, was it Potter after him? Doesn't last to see Lampard, Pochettino, Maresca. Look at the amount of managers you've gone through since Thomas Tuchel. It's mental. It was a really poor decision by Blue Car. I'm sure if they could turn the clocks back and redo that, they wouldn't have sacked him. Chelsea are in a merry-go-round now when it comes to managers. Jimbo, I do think Roberto De Zerbi is a decent manager. I think he fits the Spurs DNA in the sense of he doesn't win nothing, but he plays good, exciting football, which is what's needed for what Tottenham fans want and what their club want. But again, if they get relegated, they're going to lose a lot of players. I know De Zerbi said he'd stay, but I don't see him staying. I think he will go back on his word and still leave. So it all depends on if they stay up, Jimbo. I think the reason the Arsenal fans want Tottenham to go down so badly this year, Chelsea do, is because I think deep down a lot of them know if they stay up, they won't be in this position next year. They'll be a lot better. So I think all the people who hate Tottenham see it as a now or never situation when it comes to relegation for them. De Zerbi is the man, but these owners, they don't trust them. But his owners smart, I don't trust them. No, De Zerbi is a good manager, not a Tom Kid. But I also think Ange was a good manager. I think Ange, again, should have been backed. You should have kept him, should have backed him. And I think you would have seen a better version of Spurs this season, but he didn't even do that, which is mental. But De Zerbi is a good coach. If he keeps you up, if he's given backing in the summer, he can have Spurs competing and doing some good stuff, I will say. Some very, very weird decisions. Brian, honestly, some of the Chelsea decisions are fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy, some of the decisions that club have made. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, Blue Car are really dumbasses, aren't they? Let's be honest. Ryan, I'm sorry. I know you're a Chelsea fan, but what a bunch of dumbasses you've got winning your club. King as well, man. I don't know if you're still watching. Apologies, I know you're a Chelsea fan, but yeah, Blue Car are dumbasses, man. Real talk. They waste a lot of money as well on youngsters, which again, I heard that they're going to try and change their way of going about things now and to buy an experience, but why were you doing the youngster thing to begin with? It's weird. You could change your green screen from saying Liverpool Profit to the Liverpool Profits Lounge. You know what, Brian? It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I'll try and chat GBT the background later on and see what I can change around. But thank you, Brian. That's a very good idea. I'll definitely try that out. Like shut up about injuries. I don't want to hear that. We had transfer windows to get players. Look, Nighttime Kid, you've suffered with injuries for sure. You have struggled with injuries this year. And it's definitely been a part in you being where you are because you lack a lot of quality. Madison, Kulusevski, all these lot. However, I agree, Nighttime Kid. You had January to bring in players. You didn't do it. You had last summer to bring in players, more players than you did. You didn't do it. So ultimately, bro, again, you can only blame the hierarchy for not bringing in the players or buying or sending the manager in with competence going into the season. You know what I'm saying? I do feel you're suffering from Ange, though. Ange ran you guys into the ground last 2 seasons with how intense his football was. His high-end 10 football, and your players are knackered. So I do think you're feeling the effects of that now. Big up, Josh CJ. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Big up, man. Savinho, Somerville, them, man. So much players. Yeah. You know, all of them would have been good signings for Spurs. But you didn't do it, did you? Didn't make the moves. Big up, Nighttime Kid. I have pinned King's. I have pinned King's YouTube channel. So do sub to my brother King, man. Do go show my brother King some love. I've wanted the fellowship. We did lose a whole transfer of players at the end of the previous season, so it's a rebuild, but it's not the man to do it. No, Jimbo, he's not. He's not, man. He's not the man to do it. If he gets another summer window and he has the opportunity to experiment on the squad even more, he's going to bring in more players that suit that boring, bland possession way of playing. And I've maintained it. If he goes into next season, he won't make it out of the season. He'll be gone before Christmas. Then what's going to happen is you're going to have a situation where he's gone. Alonso's gone elsewhere, so we don't have no one to come in. And whoever comes in after that is going to have a bunch of players that don't fit his style of football. So if the club keeps slot, they're really just fucking themselves over, aren't they? Let's be honest. Get us relegated then. Get us fucking relegated. I don't care. Relegate us now. I don't like or want these owners in charge. Look, it's a tough situation because if it is going to force change, Night Tom Kid, if it is going to force change, a lot of ownership, a lot of fans probably will accept relegation, but it's a tough thing to say, man, that you want your club to go down if it means it's going to force change. But I hear it. Real Madrid had a half decent team. You think they win a league title under Mourinho, or you should? Yes, Josh, yeah, of course, I do. Do I think Mourinho is as good as he used to be? No, I don't. Do I think he's a little bit past it? Yes, I do. Do I think his style of football will work at Madrid? His proper style of football? No, I don't. I think he would have to adapt and tweak a little bit. But he's got if he goes there, which it looks likely now, it looks like it's going to happen. He's got a good set of players to work with. He'll definitely get. Well, I think they will sell Vinicius Junior. He can definitely get Mbappe's ego in check, and I think he can get some out of him. Very interesting to see how he used Trent, because Trent has usually thrived in attacking teams under attacking managers like Klopp, even Alonso a bit. So seeing Trent under Mourinho, who's a defensive coach, would be very interesting. Be interesting seeing what he did there. But Mourinho would have a very good squad to work with at Real Madrid, unlike what he has at Benfica and what he's had down the years at the other clubs he's been at. I think he'd definitely be able to win them La Liga again, and even a UCL. You never know. Mourinho is washed, but washed Mourinho is still better than 90% of the managers out there. Let's be honest. It's all good, Joshy J. Don't worry about it, man. The RB West had a big say in Hicks and Gillette, though. They did, Joshy J. They did, Jimbo. But I do think the fans also played a big part in it. Spurs fans need to take notes from Liverpool fans. Hey, listen, Jimbo. Yeah. To be fair, honestly, you're probably being run worse now than we were then. You know, we probably would have been in that situation if we hadn't gotten rid of Hicks and Gillette. So, yeah, man, definitely take some notes from us on that. You know what gets to me, people in my fan base? These fucking sausage heads. You're funny, but rate Solanke, some like Bergvall and fucking Gray, Scrubs, bunch of dogs. Look, Night Tom Kid, if you want to be an elite club, if you want to be challenging year in, year out for the elite honours, you can't have a front three like that. I'm sorry, you can't. That is a very bang average front three. Let's be honest. Bergvall, Gray, and Solanke. That is bang average. A very, very bang average front line. You want to be elite, you can't go into seasons with that front line. It was Jimbo. It was crazy. Only wanted 55k, and they don't want to pay him that. More than happy to give Gakpo a new contract though. Gakpo can have what he wants, but Diaz, no. We're not going to give Lucho nothing. Absolutely crazy, man. Dumb decision, and we're paying the prices for it now. I'm glad we got rid of Solanke as well, Jimbo. I'm glad we sold him off to Bournemouth. He was nowhere near good enough, and he never was going to be good enough for us. He's poo. Offers fuck all, scores once in 3 weeks for injury prone. I hear it, Night Tom Kid. He's not a great striker. Whatever happens, you have to be loyal, do thick and thin. That's true. Be quit after 8 months of lazy football, then go sports. What's Baptist? I agree, man. Look, if Slot stays, I will feel disconnected to the club. My love for the club will die, but I don't think I could ever not watch and support, because that's just who I am. I wouldn't be a football fan if I wasn't a Liverpool fan. No Bergvall or Gray midfield, and they smell. Oh, they're midfielders. My bad. Apologies. My bad, man. But yeah, if you want to be elite, you can't go into leagues or Champions Leagues with players like that in the team. This will be my 42nd year of supporting Chelsea. as I was 12 years old when I started. Never change your team. Facts, Brian. I know other people have got two teams. They've got a team that they like on the side. I could never do that. I could never do that, man. If I wouldn't be a football fan if I wasn't a Liverpool fan. I could never support another team. I could never even have a second team. Just can't bring myself to do it, man. It's Liverpool and no one else, and it always will be. Oh, but he's young. Oh, but he's young. Oh, they should try some, show some passion. Bro, that's the problem, youngsters. You are trash. We aren't Barcelona. I hear it now, Tom Kid. Frustration is justified, man. We were hours from being shut down and liquidated under Hicks and Gillette. It's mad. That whole situation, Jimbo, was fucking crazy. We had an outstanding tax bill and the debt leverage against us was pressing. The RBS were pulling line of credit, though. Yes, Jimbo, that whole situation was fucking mental. It was absolutely crazy what was going on there. Genuinely was. So, guys, regarding Slot, there is some interesting news on him. I'm going to bring it up now. This is very intriguing. And let me know your thoughts on it. So, I've seen this article today. If you guys can see that. That's very interesting. So, Wilson Cox, Liverpool journalist, has reported that Ajax really want to appoint Arne Slot as their head coach this summer. Remains to be seen what Arne Slot's future holds, with uncertainty around his Anfield future. We know that. To be fair, we know it's up in the air whether he stays or goes. But Ajax want Slot reportedly. Now that's a Liverpool journalist, so he's not going to make it up, is he? Interesting. Ajax want to bring. Well. What do you guys think of this? If I was De Zerbi, I would let it off. I hear it, man. I would be as well. If I was Spurs manager, I'd let it off too with the state they're in. So Ajax apparently want to bring Arne Slot in. They want to appoint him as their next manager. They want Skelly. They want to sign Skelly from Arsenal if we stay up. To be fair, not Tom Kid, I don't see you and Arsenal doing business because they're your biggest rivals and vice versa. So I don't think that will happen because of you two having the rivalry. But yeah, that's mad that they want to sign a player from Arsenal. Slot must go, sorry. Too much mediocre players. Can you take Hughes and Edwards with him to Ajax, please? Well, Hughes is probably going to end up going to Saudi Arabia. So that will happen, I think. Whether it's this summer, next summer, he will go. He ain't going to be here in the long term. Edwards remains to be seen what happens with him. I don't think he's as dumb and incompetent as Richard Hughes is, but he still is an idiot. I think this is perfect for Slot. I think this is a perfect move for him. The man is homesick, clearly missing living with his family in Holland, clearly missing in the Netherlands. Don't think he's happy living in Liverpool and living in the UK in general. I think this is just a brilliant move for everyone. It works out well for Liverpool, works out well for us Liverpool fans, works out well for him. I think he should take the move, and I think if they do come in for him, Liverpool should have no issue letting Slot go. The fact that they're keen on him makes sense, to be fair, because ultimately, I think Arne Slot is a good coach. I do think he's a good coach. I think if he goes back to Holland, if he goes to even the French league or even the German league, I think he'd do well at a club with lower expectations. But for us, he just isn't the right man. But I maintain he is a good manager and he'll do well somewhere else, and I hope he does. Slot looks carefree as fuck. Yeah, it's not the look of a man who knows he's here next season. It's the look of a man who knows he's off. Let's be honest now, Tom Kid. You wouldn't be looking that carefree if you knew you had a lot of work to do in the summer. Chelsea in the second division, it takes years to get from what you were to having the likes of Zola and Drogba. Good times, bad times, it's what we do. Well, yeah, Boss Baptiste, I hear it, man. I hear it. Look, we went 30 years with no league. This has been our best period since 2018 to now. Trophy-wise, since the 80s. We had the fall-off in the 90s. We didn't do too well in the 2000s league-wise. This has been our best period again. And, yeah, man, you go through hard times, you go through bad times. That's just the way football is, man, isn't it? They are Jimbo, yes. That's why he's always going off on international breaks back there. Because he goes to visit them. That says a lot to me that he never moved his family here when he joined. Kind of feels like he never saw himself at Liverpool in the long term. And he's homesick. I know a homesick man when I see one and he looks homesick. It's hard living away from your family. He's been doing that for almost 2 years now, so it makes sense why he feels the way he does and why he's not happy living in the UK because he's away from his wife, his kids. So again, it's in everyone's best interest. He can go back to the Netherlands, be with his family. get a job in Holland, and we can look to the future with someone else. It's the perfect situation. Liverpool would be crazy to reject this if it's true. Liverpool should tell Slot you can go to Ajax, but you'll get no payoff. Yeah, Brian, I hear that. I think he'd take the offer as well. I don't think he wants to be here. I don't think Arne Slot wants to be here no more. I look at his body language, his demeanour. He doesn't look like a manager or a person who wants to be at our club no more. Really doesn't. Compared to what he was like last season, he doesn't look like he wants to be here. So this is interesting, and it'll be interesting seeing what happens with him. But Slot to Ajax, we'll have to see how that develops, but that's very intriguing for sure. I'll say that. Very, very intriguing. And I hope there is truth in it for sure. I do hope there is truth in that. I think it's the right move for everyone for that to happen. I would not be that ruthless, to be honest. He did bring a Premier League title and should be rewarded for that. I hear it, Jimbo. I hear it. Look, I don't hold no ill intent towards Arne Slot. When he goes, I'll always look at last season. When I think of Slot after he goes, I'll always think back to his first season, how he came in after Klopp and he won a Star League. There's no bad blood between him. I don't dislike him as a person. I've got no issue with the man. It's a shame it didn't work out. I wanted him to succeed. We all wanted him to succeed. It's a shame. He's a great man. Seems like a lovely person. It's not a right fit for Liverpool in footballing sense. That's how I'm looking at it. And I seen a couple of fans were going into his kids' Instagram posts and abusing him. Bang out of order. Bang out of freaking order, that was. The fact that Liverpool fans were going into his son's Instagram post DMs and commenting horrible stuff. Absolutely crazy. And that's bang out of order. You know, people need to stop taking it so seriously, man. It isn't that bad anyway. We know the problems. We know Isak can score. We know Rio is a generational talent. We know Words can be a brilliant 10. And we know Konate could be better than he is. It's coaching. It is. A lot of it is to do with coaching. A lot of it is very much to do with coaching. And Arne Slot just not being able to get the best out of a team. You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. I think we can all agree. Yes, players do have to take a bit of the blame. But ultimately, I think when you look at it, a lot of our issues this season are down to coaching. They are down to coaching. And you bring in a better coach, I think you'll see a lot of these players elevate to another level and elevate and look a lot better. I remember relegation like it was yesterday. It helps me put losing finals into perspective. I hear that, Brian. That's crazy, but you saw your team relegated. You've been around for a long time. Big up yourself, man. Supported the team. Supported Chelsea through thick and thin. Big up yourself, man. Big up, man. And yeah, before I head off, guys, there is some good news that I want to discuss, and I'll bring it up as well. Now, originally, I thought Mohamed Salah wasn't going to feature again for Liverpool this season after the news that we were hearing after the Palace game of him getting injured and that. But Sky have reported some good news. So, if you can see that there, people, if you can see that there, Liverpool have confirmed that Mohamed Salah is expected to be available to play again before the end of the Premier League season after sustaining a minor muscle injury against Palace. Salah expected to return before the end of the season. Brilliant news, man. Brilliant news. Brilliant news. The last thing we want is to send him off and for him not to get one more game. The final game against Brentford, we want him in the team. Even if he's not starting, we want him on the bench at least. And I was really upset after that Palace game to hear that maybe the injury would take him out for the rest of the season, rest of his career at Liverpool. But good news is, looks like he's going to be back, or he will be back before the end of the season. Does that mean he'll be back for Brentford before that? Not too sure. Have to see what is being said on that. Have to see what Slot says on it and the club say on it. But the fact that it looks like he's going to be back and he should be available, brilliant news. We can say goodbye to him on the pitch against Brentford final day in the right manner. You know what I'm saying? So that's good news. Probably still isn't going to be available for United this weekend, which is a shame. Really wanted him to play against Manchester United one last time because we know how much he loves bagging against them lot. It's a shame. He's probably going to miss that game, but it is what it is. You know, as long as he's back before the end of the season, he's back in the team and we can say goodbye to him in the proper manner. I'm happy with that, man. So yeah, looks like Mohamed Salah. Initially, we thought he wouldn't play again this season. Sky have confirmed that he will be available again before the end of the season, which is good news. So I'm happy to see that. And if Sky reported it, yeah, it is probably the case. So yeah, that's good news, guys. That is very good news. Yeah, man, very well said, Brian. I've never seen my team relegated, and I hope I never do. But the fact you saw your team relegated and you sat through it, you watched it, and you continue to support, again, perfect example of you stick with your team, do thick and thin. Win, lose, or draw, you back the boys, and that's how I look at it as well. We've been bad this season, but I can never not love Liverpool. I can never not look forward to a Liverpool game. As bad as we've been to watch this season, I still look forward to our games because I'm a Liverpool fan at the end of the day, and I want to see my team do well. It's a hard situation, but I'll always support the boys, man. Win, lose, or draw, I'm always going to be here, and I'm always going to give my all and my best to try and support the team. On the pitch, I'll always support the team. If Slot's here next season, I will try and give him a chance. I'll be honest. I will try my best to give him a chance, give him the benefit of the doubt. And I do hope, in the back of my head, he does turn it around, but I don't think he will. And I will have to call him out if it's not good enough. But if he's here next season, we start the season with him, I'm going to try and give him a chance. I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Just like the ownership and hierarchy. I might not want him to be here, but I will try. I will certainly try. Players are blowing out of their arses by the 40th minute. There's a reason players are being told they don't have to attend coaching and training sessions. That has nothing to stop. Jota wanted to win. Yeah, Bust Baptiste, 100%. 100%, Bo agreed. 100%. 100%, brother. Whichever club Salah signs for, they could get the team. Play a pre-season friendly at Anfield. It would be emotional seeing Mohamed Salah coming back to Anfield in another kit, for sure. I think it's nailed on. He goes to the Saudi Pro League, Brian. I've said it all season since I felt like he was going to leave, which was around Christmas time after the Leeds game. When he came out and did the interview, I thought, yeah, he's off at the end of the season. I think it's nailed on. He goes Saudi Arabia, wherever that is. I don't know. Because of his name, because of who he is. He goes to that league and he instantly becomes the most important and famous person there. Let's be honest about it. He just does. Al Nazar, Al Hilal, wherever he goes, wish him the best, man. I wish him the best. Nothing but the best. And yeah, I suppose we could do that, but it would be very emotional seeing him back in another team shirt or another kit, for sure. It would be, but you never know. Never say never to it, guys. Never say never. Guys, big up to everyone who's been in, man. Do drop a like on the live if you haven't already done so. It's been a great chat with everyone. The title of the video, it's obvious why the board are sticking with Arne or want to stick with him. He's a yes man. And a yes man will never challenge authority of a club, will he? He'll never challenge the club's authority. He'll just do what he's told. And I think Arne this season has demonstrated perfectly that he won't challenge no one's authority. He won't challenge the owners. He won't call them out. He won't call out Hughes and Edwards. And they like that. They like someone they can bully, they can control. And you can see why they want to keep him around. But it's our role as fans that we need to hold the standard up and not allow that to happen. Because that will very quickly send us down a rabbit hole, send us down a pathway that we don't want to go down. I feel we're hovering on the threshold at the moment. We're hovering between going back to being what we were like pre the Jurgen Klopp days, before Klopp came in. And we're hovering between getting back to where we need to be. And what we do next with the manager situation and the summer we have, I think will really determine whether we do go back to the pre-Jurgen Klopp days or whether we elevate and get back to where we need to be. Which is why I elevate and I express and emphasize again, the summer coming up is an incredibly, incredibly important one. We've got a yes man. Even they got fed up and left. Yeah, Rossini was a yes man, wasn't he? And even he at the end, in his last game against Brighton, was calling stuff out. So even that shows again the situation at Chelsea is a bad one. I don't know who Chelsea get as their manager next. That looks like Iraola's a shout. Brian, I don't know how you feel about Iraola for Bournemouth if you take him. I think he's a good coach. Remains to be seen whether he can make that step up from Bournemouth to a big club, but I do think he's a good manager. If we don't go for Alonso, I'd definitely look at Iraola for sure. I don't know how you feel about that though, Brian. Do let me know in the comments. But A lot of change coming again this summer for Liverpool, for better or worse, whatever you think. A lot of change coming. Um, Again, it's out with the old and it's in with the new. Basically, that's basically what's happening here. All of the old guard are leaving the team that won us so much down the years, and are being replaced with newer players. Whether these newer players can live up to the hype of what the other ones produced for us remains to be seen. But yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. Oh, so Brian doesn't want Iriola, no more project managers. Fair enough. Fair enough, Brian. I do hear that. I do hear that, man, for sure. But guys, it's been a great chat, man. An hour and 15 minutes has just flown by. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. I'll be back again tomorrow with more live streams, and on Saturday and Sunday, of course, too. Going forward, I am going to be streaming at this time during the day, early morning, 10 a.m. It just works out better for me. I don't have no technical issues as opposed to what I have to deal with during the evening or at night, which is what I was having to deal with last night. So going forward, I will be streaming early morning. So I just think it works out better. But big up to you all, man. I'm going to shout everyone out before I do head off. Big up Brian. Big up to Bus Baptiste. Big up to Jimbo. Big up yourself, Jimbo. Big up to Nighttime Kid. Who else was in here, man? Big up to Joshy J. Make sure you are subbing to Joshy J, guys. Who else was in here? Big up to Die for Liverpool. Who else, man? Big up to my brother King, lads. Another one of the fellowship. Big up to my brother King. Make sure you are subbing to King, guys. So yeah, big up King. Who else was in here? Anyone I missed? Have I missed anyone? Yeah, I've got to scroll up quite a bit, to be fair. Here we go. Big up to AFC always. Appreciate you being in. Well, big up to my brother Emmanuel as well, man. It's been a while, brother. It's been a while, but it's great to see you in. Big up to everyone in the building. Appreciate you all being in. Big up Adam, man. You have arrived a little bit late. Big up yourself. I'm wrapping up, but nonetheless, appreciate you stopping by, man. Big up, big up. And big up Jimbo again. Big up to you all. I'll be back tomorrow at this time, 10 a.m. with another live discussion more. And then Saturday as well. So yeah, big up, man. Appreciate you all in the building. Profit out. Up the edge in a bit. Peace.